Hey guys, and welcome. Today's topic of the day is growing with your partner. So I have my partner here, my husband. He's joining us today. Go ahead and check him out. I'll have his Instagram in the description box. He is an artist, so run up them streams on his music. Check out all his music videos, everything. So some of you guys have asked how we've been able to grow together as partners, as a couple, since we've been together for almost 7 years. That's crazy. So I know that there are people who stumble across my channel who don't really know me yet. So tell everyone, how long have we been together?
We've been together for 7 years. That's through high school, through a little bit of college, all the way up to marriage.
Yeah.
It was a very quick 7 years, I feel like, but at the same time, it was a lot in that 7 years. Lots of major life changes for sure.
When I moved out, I feel like that was, like, for me, my major life change, because obviously I was going from like one environment to a whole completely different environment, and I was really trying to like figure out myself and figure out what I wanted to do. And I feel like he kind of shortly after me moving out was starting to get into the flow of like what he wanted to do, you know, starting his business and becoming an artist. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'll just go along with that. I don't really know what I want to do, but maybe, you know, this will be fun. And I feel like that could be dangerous because you have to have your own goals, your own passions.
It definitely like took us a while to get to that point, like not to put you out there, but like we had that kind of conversation like very often. Because I mean, I was like, I guess like an early bloomer, like I was ready to do what I wanted to do early. And so to have someone as your partner who has to figure her life out on her own, so to speak, it was kind of conflicting. Like, okay, like how do I pursue this and not let her feel like she's getting dragged along with what I'm doing? You know, like she needs time to figure out what she wants to do. And I was very like trying to be adamant about, you know, making sure you have your friends and keeping your friends and not waiting for me all the time. Like, go do your thing. But it's hard to do that without making yourself like look like you're pushing her away, and stuff like that. So there's a bit of a balance.
I mean, it could also turn into resentment because if I was dragged along to something that I didn't want to do, I do support him and I do, you know, have a part in like what you do, but it's not like I still have my own stuff going on. But yeah, I think, it just took me some time, and you know, it does take people time to figure out what they want to do, and that's fine.
We were very blessed though. Like, I mean, I always knew early on that we obviously met through like music. So we were both always creative, like from the jump. We already knew that about each other. But I think that we were blessed to have friends that got along and just like interests that were similar enough to like recognize our own talents within like a similar field almost, because we're both doing similar things and it works out.
But completely different than what we thought.
Completely different than what we were planning, like completely different.
And what we were doing at that time, because
that's God.
We met in high school. I was in orchestra, he was in band, but it's the same classroom, same band room. I played the double bass.
Shout out Mr. Cherry. Shout out Cherry.
I played the double bass, like that big violin, and he played the drums. And I mean, I didn't think that it would become like a career for me, but he definitely thought that it was gonna be like his end all be all. Yeah. So yeah, now we're here.
Yeah, and I realized I suck.
No, you don't. he does.
So now that we're more so in the flow of what we're doing now, pursuing our own businesses and living in a house and being married, it's like there's so much life going on. It's important to track back and remember that you know, you live for each other too as much as you live for yourself in a partnership, and so you have to prioritize time for the other person. You know, my schedule's full, her schedule's full, but within that schedule is literally time to be together. We're making sure that when we are together, we're trying to focus on each other, and that's easier said than done, way easier said than done. Like, we're still working on it, but we recognize how important it is. Because we can start to feel those things, like those emotions of maybe like neglect, or maybe like we have a desire to...
Not in a bad way, just like it's just that life gets so busy. One thing that we started doing is he got me into Marvel. So we actually really look forward to, you know, our little movie nights.
Yeah.
And
Star Wars is next.
Well, we did kind of start it, but I'm actually a Marvel fan now, and we watched like all of the movies, and we watched like some series. We're still getting through the series, and then Now we're gonna get into Star Wars. He's a really big Star Wars fan.
That's the number one.
Me, I don't know.
You're gonna be a
I'm
Star Wars
getting
fan
there.
too. Yeah. Never say never.
So yeah, you just have to find like little things, like it just little things that you guys can do together that you can look forward to, and you're able to just spend that like quality time together. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 5 pillars of a healthy marriage, and this could be applied to you as well if you're dating to marry, because these are things that you can practice and you can just include in your relationship to grow that relationship to maybe hopefully become a marriage one day. So the first one is love, and we wanted to share a verse with you guys.
1 Corinthians 13:4 says that love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. I'll be irritable. Be feeling that. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. That's beautiful. And that definition of love, we can break that down, but like if you apply that definition to love in any circumstance, then you can't go wrong. Like that's it. But first, love is patient and kind. So I think that you are a fantastic example of being patient and kind. I am not very patient, and I can be very straightforward, which is not always the kindest thing. So if she decides to get her own cereal and I get my own cereal and she doesn't like her cereal and decides to eat my cereal,
True story, by the way.
is how I respond. I go to 1 Corinthians 13:4. I say, okay, love is patient. All right, let me be patient. Calm down. I'm justified in my frustration, but I have to be patient first and then be kind. When I approach her, I can't be like, "Arr." I gotta be nice, okay? Okay, calm down. Love does not envy or boast. All right, keep going. It is not arrogant or rude. Okay, think about it. Sometimes I get cereal and don't like it. And Deevaani, she would share. She's always like, here, this
Yeah,
is this
because
bag is
I
for
don't
share.
care.
I shop.
For himself.
No. I shop, but I say, you get your thing, I get my thing. But she tries to say, we'll just get one thing for both of us. And I'm just like, but I really don't want that because you don't eat nothing that I really be wanting to eat. So, but she's cool with that because her menu is limited. So, what I'm saying is you got compromise, remember? Does not insist on its own way. 13:5 says that. It is not irritable or resentful, so I can't be holding it against her because she ate my cereal. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. And it bears all things, and it believes all things, and hopes all things. So I gotta know that she didn't try to do it on purpose because she stays doing it, but she can't be doing it on purpose. There ain't no way. And I'll bear it because I love her, and I'll endure all things because I
Imagine
love
the
her.
cereal as her.
I use cereal. You can use anything as, bro. It applies to everything, big and small. I use the small because it's easy to think about the big stuff, but really be everything. That's how God transforms you from the inside out. Meditating on His word, it transforms you from the inside out, all aspects.
So the next pillar is trust, and I feel like when people think about trust and relationships, they immediately think about faithfulness and cheating and just being loyal. And there's different levels of trust, I feel like. So obviously the faithfulness part, but also making sure that you're honest with your partner about your successes and failures, because when you guys are together, it really, really matters what you guys are doing. Whatever he does affects me, whatever I do affects him. Like he said, our cereal choices, they really affect each other, because if I eat his cereal, then he's not gonna have breakfast, for tomorrow. It affects. So be honest, be truthful. Another one is making sure that you're entrusting that your partner is going to put you first and make the right decisions for your relationships. R-E-S-P-E-C.
I'm about to do that. I was doing the same thing. So the next pillar is respect. And I want to preface respect with humility, because it's hard to have respect for others when you're not humble yourself, because everybody respects themselves enough to want to look good, spend extra time in the mirror to look good. They eat every day, they wake up and wear the best clothes they can. They do whatever they want to do. And, you obviously have respect for yourself in some cases, and some people have different levels of respect for themselves, obviously. But when it comes to being in a relationship, you're called to have, you know, respect for the other person. So regardless of how much respect you have for yourself, you should try to have more for the other person, and you can demonstrate that in the way that you treat them behind closed doors and out in public, right? You can demonstrate that in the way that you treat yourself around them, right? Make sure that they have someone who makes them feel good and look good when they're around, you know, around you.
So the next pillar is understanding.
1 Corinthians 13:5 says, it does not insist on its own way. And that is understanding. Basically,
Yeah.
it's saying, like, you know, regardless of whether you're right or wrong, you know, the other person has their own opinion. The other person may or may not see what's right or wrong. Maybe they're right, maybe you're wrong, maybe you're right, maybe they're wrong.
Yeah.
But regardless of the fact, you can understand that they're only human. They have a different perspective, just like you have a different perspective. So understanding that causes you to slow down and approach situations correctly and differently than you would if you weren't trying to practice understanding.
So the last pillar is faith, and it kind of just brings us back to our very first point that we made, which was having a relationship that's God-centered. And even if you're watching this and you're not in a relationship, as a single person, it's also really important that you center your life around God.
Because your faith in God is going to dictate your faith in the future and your faith in your relationship and how you see it going. Because if you trust God to guide your path, then you trust that whatever his plan is for you is his plan for your relationship. And there's no worry of, oh no, it's not going to end up okay. I don't know if it's the right person. You have faith in a God who put this person in your life for a reason. And regardless of your decision, your outcome is going to be God-given. So that's what faith comes from. It's the belief in the unseen.
Okay guys, so I hope that this video was helpful. Leave us any questions that you have in the comment section down below. We would love to elaborate on any topic or anything that you guys have questions on, so just let us know and we will answer them for you. Don't forget, I'm gonna put the link to my husband's Instagram, all his platforms in the description, so go ahead and check him out. Don't forget about that. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.